Aha, you're about to see something insane. Are you ready? Really ready to have your mind blown? This isn't your usual hustle talk. Nah, this is raw, untamed truth. The kind that bites, stings, and wakes up your fire. Can you feel it? That hunger, that chaos, that storm inside? You've been underestimated, ignored, laughed at, right? They didn't see your power, your vision, your madness. And today it all flips. By the end of this video, you're gonna feel sharp, electric, dangerous. Your thoughts, your energy, your aura, elevated. And trust me, you'll want to comment, share your fire, let the world know you're awake. Shout out to you, yeah. You, the one who's been grinding, struggling, staying silent while the world doubted. You've carried the weight, endured the pain, sharpened the hunger. This video is for you. Every second, every line, every word is made to hit hard, wake the beast, and ignite the storm. They laughed. Oh, how they laughed. Little smirks, little whispers. They thought I was a joke, a sideshow, a shadow they could ignore. But shadows remember, shadows watch. They memorize every flaw, every hesitation, and when the silence comes, when the grin stretches too wide, that's when the truth hits. You were never in control. They weren't ready for what you carry. Not even close. Do you feel it? That sting behind the eyes? That ache that nobody can see? They call it patience. I call it plotting. Every word you swallowed, every glance you ignored, it's a ledger, a record. And oh, how the numbers will rise. One day, they'll look back. They'll see your quiet. They'll taste your restraint. And it will burn more than they ever imagined. You were never small. You were silent. And silence is loud. They build walls around themselves. Safe, protected, foolish. I smile when I watch them. They think distance keeps them from the chaos you are. They think invisibility shields them from your mind. But the mind is a predator. It learns, it waits. It knows exactly when to strike, and when it does, they won't see it coming. Not even a flicker. You've been preparing in shadows. They've been playing in daylight, and daylight blinds them. Every insult they threw, every doubt they planted, it's fertilizer for the garden in your head. You watered it with rage, nurtured it with quiet fury, and now it grows, wild, sharp, unforgiving. They will not recognize what you've become. They'll stumble into it blindly. They'll choke on the very fear they planted in your soul. And you'll watch with a grin that doesn't need explanation, because they will finally understand. There is a rhythm in chaos, a poetry in rebellion, and the world is only beginning to learn it. They built cages with their words, with their judgments. Their laughter echoed like chains. But chains break, especially when they are made of paper, of arrogance, of underestimation. And I have been sharpening scissors, quietly, patiently, waiting for the moment their walls crumble and their faces betray them. Look into the mirror. Really look. What do you see? Fear? Power? Something else entirely. Something they can't name. That's the prize. Not their approval, not their applause, but the flicker of doubt in their eyes, that pause, that hesitation, the first crack, it is all you need. You are the storm they ignored, the reckoning they never anticipated. And when they finally realize it, when they finally realize it, they will wish they had listened. They chase the spotlight, desperate, hungry for attention, hungry for approval, hungry for the warmth of recognition. But light is fragile, fickle. It flickers and dies when you least expect it. Shadows, though, shadows linger, shadows stretch, shadows remember. I move in shadows, quiet, patient, watching, learning. And when the world screams for answers, I will whisper truths they cannot hear. They believe visibility equals power. How naive, how tragically blind. You know better. You've danced in corners they never thought to enter. You've seen what they hide from. The cracks, the lies, the small betrayals that build empires of deception. And now you understand the real game. They play checkers in the sun. You play chess in the dark. Every piece, every move, every smile, calculated, precise, deadly. Do they sense it? Sometimes, in fleeting moments. A glance that lingers too long. A question they hesitate to ask. That's the sound of fear trying to crawl into awareness. And you do not flinch. You let it slither. Let it fester. Because fear is a mirror. It reveals the truth. That the person they never took seriously is already 2 steps ahead. Always. I have watched them stumble over their own confidence. Such fragile creatures, so certain of their illusions. They trust the brightness of the stage, the applause, the shallow smiles. And while they chase that fleeting warmth, I build quietly a kingdom of whispers, of secrets, of unseen strength. They will never see the architecture of your mind until it crushes them, until the floor falls beneath their arrogance. Every shadow has its purpose. Every silence has its weight. You have learned to speak without words, to move without notice. They underestimate you because they fear what they cannot measure. And nothing is more terrifying than a mind untethered by expectation. You have become the uncertainty they cannot compute, the riddle that mocks their logic, the storm they will never forecast. Remember this: the world adores the visible, but history remembers the unseen, the patient, the cunning, the ones who wait. And when the moment comes, when their lights flicker and fade, you will rise from your shadow, unannounced, undetected, perfectly timed. And the laughter you hear will not be theirs. It will be yours. Quiet, savage, complete. They laughed at your hunger, mocked your ambition, called it obsession, said it was foolish, said it would burn out. How little they knew. Hunger, true hunger, is a predator. Silent, patient, relentless. It waits, it studies, it learns. And when it strikes, it does not miss. Every sneer they threw, every smirk of superiority, all of it fuel, fire. Do you feel it? The gnawing in your chest, the ache that never sleeps. That is your power growing. Every sleepless night, every sacrifice, Every time you bit your tongue and watched them celebrate mediocrity, it was forging you, hardened you, sharpened you. And now that hunger has teeth, sharp, dangerous, and they cannot see it coming. They call it ambition. You call it survival. They chase comfort. You chase dominance. And in this chase, there is poetry. There is violence. There is beauty in the cold calculation of what they cannot touch. They underestimate you because they cannot measure the intensity of desire. And nothing terrifies them more than desire that cannot be tamed. The hunger inside you is a mirror. It reflects every slight, every betrayal, every laugh that cut too deep. It does not forgive. It does not forget. It does not rest. And that is why you are unstoppable. Not because they respect you, not because they understand you, but because you have become exactly what they feared in their quietest moments. They will watch. Oh, they will watch. And they will try to understand. And every failed attempt, every miscalculation, feeds the storm within you. Each moment they doubt you, each hesitation they show, it is another step forward, another notch in the belt of inevitability. And they will feel it. They will feel the weight of a hunger they once laughed at. And when the moment comes, when the reckoning arrives, they will see it. Their mockery, their scorn, their dismissal, all meaningless. Your hunger will consume the space they occupied. Silent, perfect, absolute. And in that silence they will realize, too late, that the one they mocked, the one they ignored, was already writing their downfall. Chains. Everywhere. Visible, invisible. It doesn't matter. They told you where you could go, what you could do, who you could be. Rules, boundaries, expectations. They wrapped you tight. They smiled while they did it. And you smiled back. But smiles can lie, and lies are delicious. You learned to bend, to slip through cracks, to move while they watched and never noticed. Do you hear it? That clatter of metal in your mind, those imaginary locks rattling, that's freedom knocking. Not gentle, not polite. It screams. It demands. Break it. Tear it down. Every limit they set, every cage they built, fragile, paper thin. All it takes is a decision, a spark, and suddenly the air smells different. Sharp, electric, hungry. They think control is theirs. How amusing. They measure it by appearances, by compliance, by submission. But real control, real freedom, is internal, silent, invisible, brutal. You step into it slowly, purposefully, and the world trembles before you even move. They do not see you, but they feel it. That shift, that certainty, that quiet dominance. Pain was part of the cage. Disappointment, betrayal, frustration. It molded you, sculpted you into a weapon they will never recognize until it's too late. Every knockdown was a rehearsal. Every restriction, a lesson in leverage. And now, every cage is just an invitation. A challenge, a plaything, waiting for your hands to tear it apart. Do they sense it? Maybe. In moments fleeting, The pause in their voice, the hesitation in their step. That's the fear of someone who finally realized the walls they built are now yours to command. And you do. Slowly, methodically, a predator in the shadows. The cage isn't gone yet, but the locks are in your pocket. The key was never theirs, it was always yours. And when you finally push past it, oh, when the walls crumble, it won't be pretty. Not neat, not polite, but it will be absolute. Silence, victory, power that doesn't need approval. The cage was never a limit. It was a rehearsal. And now the show begins. They will stare, and all you have to do is smile. They think they know you. They think they understand your mind. How quaint, how fragile, how deliciously wrong. Every word you speak, a riddle. Every smile, a threat. And every pause, a doorway into madness. They never dared explore. You do not play by their rules. You do not follow their scripts. You rewrite them quietly, cruelly, and perfectly. Listen. Can you hear it? That whisper in your skull, that voice that teases and twists. It isn't polite. It isn't comforting. It is truth, raw, sharp, unforgiving. It tells you what they fear. It tells you what they hide. And when you speak it, oh, when you finally speak it, the world jolts. Their certainty fractures, and your chaos blooms. They crave predictability, routine, comfort. They believe stability keeps them safe. Fools. Safe is boring. Safe is weak. Chaos. Chaos is the playground of the wise, the cunning, the unrestrained. You walk in that playground. You build swings from their arrogance. You spin slides from their ignorance. And they watch, helpless, hungry, afraid. Every laugh they hear from you, a needle. Every glance, a blade. You are not kind. You are not fair. You are necessary. The world pretends it wants reason, rules, control, but it doesn't. It wants brilliance wrapped in madness. It wants fear disguised as confidence. And you are the perfect paradox. The smile that bites, the whisper that screams. Do they notice? Occasionally, a flicker in the eye, a hesitation. That is all they get, because chaos, real chaos, is subtle, deliberate, unavoidable. It creeps through cracks. It spreads in silence, and when it erupts, oh, it leaves nothing untouched. You have learned its rhythm, its language, its poetry. They never will. And that is your strength. Remember this. The world will beg for explanations. They will search for patterns, reasons, rules, but you know better. Patterns are cages. Rules are illusions. Explanations are weakness. Whisper, laugh, pause, step back. Let them flounder. Let them question themselves. And as they unravel, remember, the most dangerous force is always the one they never saw coming. Every scar tells a story, not the story they want to hear, not the story they can stomach. Your scars, they are weapons, silent, hidden, deadly. They remind you They whisper. Every betrayal, every insult, every failure sharpened you, forged you, made you into someone they will never anticipate. Pain isn't weakness. Pain is leverage. Feel it. That sting, that ache, that hollow place they thought would break you. It didn't. It couldn't. It became fuel. Every night you lay awake. Every time they laughed at your struggle, it fed something inside you. Something cold. Something sharp. Something that waits for the moment to strike. And when it strikes, they won't know what hit them. They run from pain. They hide from discomfort. How pathetic. How convenient for you. Because you have walked through fire. You have stared into emptiness and smiled. And now, every slight, every doubt, every whisper of betrayal becomes a tool. Every wound is a lesson. Every wound is a step forward. And they will never see it coming. Do they imagine you are broken? That you are fragile? That the world has clipped your wings? How naive. Every fall you took, every cut you endured, you cataloged. Every scar, a strategy. Every bruise, a blueprint. Pain became clarity. Pain became precision. Pain became power. And they only see the surface. Look closer. They cannot. They never could. That quiet suffering, that private rage, it is your empire. And while they stumble through their shallow comforts, you prepare, you plan, you sharpen, you wait. And when the time comes, oh, when it comes, they will feel the weight of every wound they thought weakened you. Remember this. Pain is not punishment. Pain is opportunity. Pain is a weapon in the hands of someone who learned to endure. Someone who learned to convert agony into strategy. Someone who learned to rise while the world slept. And as they stumble, as they flinch, as they despair, you will stand, calm, unshaken, smiling. Because every scar is now theirs to fear. You'll hold up. Before you bounce, take this in. You've just witnessed the storm, felt the fire, tasted the hunger, right? Now it's your turn. Your turn to rise, to strike, to show the world who they ignored. Remember this. They laughed, they doubted, they underestimated. But you stayed silent, sharp, deadly, patient. And now, oh now, the tables have turned. This energy, this chaos, it's yours. Own it, embrace it, let it fuel every move, every thought, every plan. Drop a comment, I want to see it. Who doubted you, who laughed, who ignored your fire. Let the world know, let the doubters taste regret, because your story, your energy, your rise, it's legendary. And don't forget, hit like, smash subscribe, because the next level, the next storm, is coming, and you don't want to miss it. Hey buddy, wait, hold up. You ever notice how people vanish the moment truth walks in the room? Like they were loud yesterday, but silent today? Oh yeah, I know you've seen it. That sudden distance that don't even need words. You didn't change, nah. They just lied about you to the wrong person. Now they can't look you in the eye. Right? Every time your name comes up, they twitch, they fidget, they panic. Because they thought their little story would stay hidden forever. But truth doesn't sleep, it moves. It walks into conversations when they least expect it. Oh, And you can feel it now, can't you? That power shift? The one where silence turns into strength. Where the same people who used to talk now avoid breathing near you? Yeah, they ain't keeping their distance, 'cause they're better. They're doing it, 'cause they're exposed. So before we go any deeper, listen. This ain't just a story. It's your moment. If you've ever been lied about, if you've ever been left standing in the fire alone, then this right here, this speech is for you. I'm gonna break it down, piece by piece. Show you how silence becomes a weapon, how truth flips the script, and how you become the calm storm they can't handle. Oh well, and to everyone watching right now, much respect, truly. You're not here by accident. You're here because you've felt it. The sting, the betrayal, the fake smiles. You know exactly what this speech means. So do me a favor, stay till the end. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let your truth breathe down there. They didn't disappear because you changed. They disappeared because the truth got too close to their lie. Oh, isn't it strange how quiet things get once the smoke clears? How the room feels emptier. Not because you walked away, but because they did. Not out of guilt, they'll admit. No, out of fear. Fear that someone might ask them what really happened. Fear that their little story, stitched together with panic and pride, might unravel in front of the wrong ears. You didn't lose them, they lost their cover. You see, people lie for two reasons: to protect themselves or to control how others see you. And when both reasons collide, you become their sacrifice. They spin their tales, hoping you'll stay silent, hoping the world will never question them. But the funny thing about lies, they echo. They bounce back. They find the one person who isn't fooled. And that's when the real silence begins. Yeah, the silence. The one that follows when they realize the wrong person knows. The person they feared most. Not because of power, but because of perception. That's the twist, isn't it? They didn't mind lying about you until they realized who they lied to. The wrong listener changes everything. Suddenly the room feels heavy. Eyes avoid yours. Smiles shrink. Their confidence evaporates. Because now, the truth isn't hidden. It's haunting. Wow. How the tables turn. When truth sits quietly in the same room as deceit, they thought their whispers would control the narrative. They thought they could paint you as the villain, but the lie they built was fragile, paper thin, and they told it to someone who doesn't forget. You know that feeling, don't you? When someone's energy shifts around you, when they can't look you in the eye anymore, because they know you know. The silence after exposure isn't peace, it's pressure. You can almost hear their thoughts racing. Do they believe me? Did they tell anyone? What do I do now? Oh yeah. Panic becomes their new routine. Every time they see you, they flinch at their own reflection in your calm. That's what truth does. It doesn't scream, it stands still. It watches their lies crumble under their own weight. Nah, don't chase them. Don't explain. Don't beg to clear your name. Their distance isn't rejection, it's confession. Every step they take away from you is proof that their mask is cracking. They aren't avoiding you because they hate you. They're avoiding you because they can't lie in front of you anymore. Your presence exposes their performance. You became their silence, their consequence. And that's the beauty of it, isn't it? You don't have to fight every rumor, you just have to outlast it. Let truth do what it does best, stand unshaken, because the ones who stayed, they saw through it. The ones who left, they exposed themselves, and the ones still watching, oh, they're learning who's who. Truth doesn't always cleanse you. Sometimes it carves you into something unrecognizable. They lied about you to the wrong person, and something inside you shifted. It wasn't just anger, was it? It was awakening. You started to see how easily loyalty melts when whispers enter the room. How quickly people rewrite history when they feel their image slipping. Oh wow, that realization hits harder than betrayal itself, because it's not just what they said, it's how calmly they said it, how confidently they expected it to work. At first, you tried to stay silent. Dignity, patience, restraint. The kind that burns quietly behind the ribs. You watched them distance themselves, pretending it was your fault. But deep down, you felt something changing, a stillness growing where pain used to live. That's the moment most people miss. The silence after being wronged doesn't break you, it refines you. You stopped defending yourself, you started observing. Yeah, observation. The art of seeing through people without reacting. You began to notice how they avoid your gaze, how their voices shake when they say your name. You became their reminder, the living proof of their falsehood. They see you, and they see their own lie staring back. That's why they stay away. Not because you're dangerous, but because you're accurate. You became the mirror they can't stand to look into. Oh, how power shifts without a single word. The same ones who once laughed behind your back now whisper when you walk by. The same ones who questioned your worth now fear your composure. It's poetic, isn't it? They tried to stain your name, but ended up washing their own hands in guilt. And here's the thing, once you've seen that side of people, you can never unsee it. The world doesn't feel smaller, it feels clearer. Nah, you don't need revenge. You don't even need closure. What you need is focus. Let their absence become your clarity. Let their gossip become your motivation. Let every door they closed remind you of the one thing they can't take, your integrity. Because the truth doesn't just expose liars, it elevates the one who endured the lie without losing their composure. That's strength most people never reach. Oh, and the best part? You didn't have to announce anything. No arguments, no scenes. Just presence. Quiet, unbothered, unbreakable presence. The kind that makes people question themselves. That's your new power. Not the ability to strike back, but the ability to stand firm. You've become the calm storm, the silent correction, the walking reminder that truth doesn't chase anyone, it just waits. So let them stay away. Let them twist in their own silence. Because what they feared most wasn't exposure, it was your evolution. You didn't just survive their lie, you transformed because of it. When truth stops defending itself, the noise around it begins to choke. And that's what you became, the silence that screams louder than all their stories. You didn't raise your voice, you didn't try to explain. You simply existed, calmly, consistently. And that unnerved them more than any confrontation ever could. Because people who live off deception can handle conflict. They can't handle stillness. Stillness exposes them. Stillness makes them face what they tried to bury. Oh wow, how fragile their confidence becomes when you no longer play their game. At first, they thought ignoring you would win, that if they stayed quiet, their lie would harden into truth. But truth doesn't fade. It waits. It lingers in the air, subtle but steady. And every time they see you walking tall, unbroken, their own guilt starts whispering back at them. Yeah, guilt has a funny way of echoing louder than gossip. They thought silence would protect them, but it became the stage where their own shadows performed. You didn't have to say, "I know." You didn't have to prove a thing. Because presence speaks. It speaks in the way you move, the way you no longer explain yourself, the way you stop trying to convince people who already decided to misunderstand you. That's when the shift happens. Your silence starts echoing, not as weakness, but as authority. The kind of authority that makes people rethink how they treated you. Nah, don't confuse that echo with loneliness. It's power, quiet, measured power, the kind that doesn't need an audience, the kind that rebuilds you piece by piece while the world watches in discomfort. They'll call you distant now, cold, changed. But what they really mean is, we can't reach you anymore. Their words no longer stick because you've outgrown their language. You've stepped into a realm where noise has no power. Wow, the beauty of that transformation. The same silence they mocked now guards your peace. The same isolation they forced on you became your discipline. You didn't lose your voice. You mastered it. You learned when to speak, when to hold back, and when to let your results talk for you. That's the lesson hidden in betrayal. You find your strength not in reaction, but in control. Every whisper they started now circles back to them. Every eye that once looked at you with doubt now studies them with suspicion. The truth didn't need to chase anyone. It just waited for the noise to burn out. And when it did, there you were, standing where they said you'd never stand again. Calm, collected, unreachable. Oh, and now they fear your silence more than your voice. Because silence doesn't argue. It reminds them of what they did, of what they said, of who they became in the process. And once that echo starts, it never stops. Reputation isn't what they say about you, it's what remains after they've stopped talking. You see, your silence didn't just echo, it evolved. It started to shape perception. The same people who once believed the lies now look at you with a question in their eyes. That question burns deeper than accusation. It's doubt. Doubt in everything they were told. Because lies are loud, but temporary. Truth, though quiet, has endurance. And endurance always wins in the long run. Oh wow, isn't it something? The very silence that made you invisible is now what makes you unforgettable. They watch you move now. Every step, every word, every calm reaction, it's studied. You became the example of restraint. They never understood because you didn't shout, you didn't seek approval, you didn't bend for sympathy. You stood, steady, unmoved, and that unsettles them. People expect destruction after betrayal. They expect bitterness. But when you choose composure, you become unpredictable. That's when they realize they never understood your strength at all. Yeah, reputation built from silence carries a different kind of authority. It isn't bought with praise or built with defense. It's earned in solitude. You carried the weight of falsehood without dropping your principles. And when you didn't crumble, your integrity started to speak louder than their noise. That's how legends are formed, not from being praised, but from being tested, tested by lies, proven by silence. Nah, don't think people forgot what they said. They remember. They just don't speak of it anymore, because mentioning it reminds them how wrong they were. The more you grew, the smaller their stories became. The more you stood tall, the more their whispers lost air. And now, they can't touch you without reminding everyone how they tried to break you. Your name no longer carries their stain, it carries their guilt. Oh, and that's when they start rewriting again. Not lies this time, but excuses. Maybe it wasn't true. Maybe I heard wrong. Maybe I judged too soon. That's how justice works without a courtroom. You didn't need to fight. You just needed to last. The truth always returns. Quietly, patiently, but when it arrives, it rewrites everything. You're living proof that patience is sharper than retaliation. The world doesn't forget those who stay silent under fire. It watches, it studies, it learns. People see you're calm, and they begin to question why you had to be calm in the first place. That's reputation. Not built from attention, but from endurance. You turn their gossip into your growth, their absence into your foundation. You became the evidence that truth doesn't need an audience, it just needs time. Oh, and now the same ones who lied are the ones protecting your name, afraid to be exposed by their own words. That's what silence does when it matures. It turns pain into power. Every storm that stays silent too long eventually learns to speak, not in noise, but in direction. There comes a point when silence stops being survival and starts becoming purpose. You've endured, you've grown, and you've mastered the art of stillness. But now something deeper stirs inside. It's not anger, not revenge. It's clarity. The kind that whispers, "You've proven yourself. Now use it." Oh wow. That realization hits hard, doesn't it? Because silence protected you once, but now it challenges you to rise, to become the lesson in motion. They lied about you to the wrong person, and that lie tried to shrink your name. But look around. It couldn't. It only refined it. You are no longer defined by what they said. You are defined by how you handled it. Your patience became your armor, and your truth, your legacy. Yeah, legacy. The part of you that speaks without words, the echo that travels beyond their reach. You survived the distortion, now it's time to build from it. Nah, don't mistake this for pride. This is accountability to yourself. The strength you found in silence isn't meant to rot in memory. It's meant to guide. You were never meant to stay quiet forever. You were meant to learn control, so when you do speak, your words carry weight. Every scar, every lonely night, every rumor you outlasted, all of it shaped the voice you have now. A voice that doesn't beg to be heard. It commands attention through truth. Oh, they'll feel it when you speak. The same people who thought they silenced you will flinch when you begin to move with purpose. Because silence gives your words gravity. It sharpens them. When you finally speak, the world knows it's not impulse, it's intention. That's what terrifies them most. You're not loud, you're precise. You don't expose, you reveal. And every revelation you bring forth becomes a reminder. Integrity outlives deception. How poetic justice unfolds without vengeance. You didn't destroy them, you simply became undeniable. Your reputation turned into proof. Your calm into character. Your endurance into evidence. And now your silence graduates into leadership, not of others, but of self. You walk with the kind of composure that doesn't demand validation. You know who you are. You've seen the cost of truth. You've paid it. And now you collect its reward, peace. Because truth has a strange rhythm. It breaks you before it builds you. It isolates you before it defines you. It silences you before it lets you speak. You've walked that road. You've faced the weight of falsehood. You've seen people flee. Not because you failed, but because you became too real for their comfort. And now you move forward. Not to prove them wrong, but to prove yourself right. Yeah. They stayed away because they lied about you to the wrong person. But you stayed strong because you learned to answer no one but truth itself. You felt that, didn't you? That shift when silence stopped being pain and started being power. Yeah. That's what happens when truth stops defending itself and starts walking on its own. They thought they won. Nah. They just revealed who they were. Every fake smile, every whisper, every distance, all of it was their confession. You didn't lose anyone. They lost access. And here's the twist, the one they never saw coming. You didn't even need revenge. You just needed patience. Because the truth, it always circles back, quietly, unshakably, like time itself saying, I told you so. So listen, if they're staying away from you right now, don't chase them. Let them stay gone. Their distance is proof. Proof that you stood where most would have crumbled. Proof that your peace got too expensive for fake company. Yeah. You survived what was meant to silence you, and look at you now, louder than ever, without saying a word. Oh, that's legendary. To everyone still here watching till the end, respect. You're not just listening, you're understanding. You're part of that rare breed that doesn't break when lied about. You evolve. Drop your truth in the comments. Let the world see how silence shaped you, how strength rebuilt you, how betrayal trained you. Because this isn't just a Joker speech. This is a mirror, and it's showing you what they tried to hide. So remember, next time they lie about you to the wrong person, don't get angry, get focused. Their story ends the moment you stop reacting.